This is my fully electric 2021 Kia Niro, and over the next few weeks I'll be driving it on a full lap of Australia, passing through some very remote places. The charging won't always be easy, but it should be one incredible journey. Oh my god! I didn't notice this last night, but they're building more dinosaurs. They're very big on the dinosaurs here. There was in fact an inland sea that passed through this region, leading to the dinosaurs. Here it is, still intact, but is it fully charged? Suspended by Evie, which would be normal, but it's showing half a battery. Not sure about that. But the moment of truth. Start it up. We got 338 kilometers of range. I'd say that's a pretty good sign. Still low tire pressure. I think I need to take care of that today. Just wait for the safety menu to light up. Confirm. Evie. And yes, 100% state of charge. So that did actually work out very well. And I will head over back to the motel to load up my stuff and everything. So I'm ready to hit the road. If you watched yesterday's video, you might recall this scraping along the ground under my car last night. And I'm pretty sure it's a chunk of my car. But I had a bit of a better look after I turned the cameras off. And I think it's just like the sort of, maybe even only aerodynamic sort of plate under the bottom. And there's a few more chunks that are a bit not too good like this as well. So I definitely want to get it fixed, but I think it will be perfectly fine to keep driving it the rest of the way home. I might stick the little camera under the car and see if I can show you. Don't know how much you can see under there, but I think there's some visible sort of damage. But as I say, based on what I looked at last night, I think it's perfectly fine to keep driving. So I think it's when I've hit the water at speed, it's just blasted in under there, ricocheting off the wheels and everything, and it's just sort of ripped it out. I have a service appointment for the service that it's now overdue for, coming up in like a week and a half or something. I really need to get home. So yeah, a bit over a week really, I need to be home for that. So we're here in Hughenden with the dodgy charger, but I've got a full charge now. If we go fast, the next DC charger would be in Charters Towers, which that was actually going to be a fairly big stretch of driving anyway, so it's probably good I did an overnight charge. Yeah, 250 kilometers. Car's estimating 332, so we can make it quite easily. But that'll be the next stop, and then it's on to Townsville. This isn't great. I think I'll just take it slow. Oh yeah, it's over the road. Oh my god. I hope that thing that came off the car wasn't waterproofing of any kind. There's current too. I'm sort of fighting against it. Oh my god. I don't know how much of that you could see from the camera, but that was intense. fairly common. I might let this ute do it first. Oh my god. Hit another one. I wasn't prepared for it. Oh my god. First time I've seen emus on the highway. I saw them in Denham, in town. I didn't realise they travelled in such flocks. On you go, on you go. Still one more coming. Okay. Made it to Charters Towers, 6.3 kilometres to the charger still, so I guess it's a fairly large town. I guess it's only sort of the industrial outskirts right now, but it feels like being in somewhere. But the car is on 22%, so it really is good that I had the full charge from last night. Otherwise I would have pretty much had to sit at the DC charger in Hughenden if it had worked. If I had full speed, I would have been charging it to pretty full. Really? The efficiency hasn't been great. That might be partially because of the wet road and might be partially because a chunk of the car is not on the car and or hanging down from the car. That's really probably not helping the aerodynamics too much. I don't think it's making a huge impact, but it definitely can't be helping. But it has been reasonably cool. It's still only 26 degrees, so the air conditioner hasn't used much power, which is good. And because I had the car turned off last night because I was in a motel, I actually have today's information. So far today I've done 248 kilometres with an efficiency of 20.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres, and the car's been on for 2 hours and 43 minutes, which would be about right. And I'm very much ready for a toilet stop and generally a bit of a break, and I haven't had breakfast yet. I have passed through several other towns. I feel like it would be nice if the charger had been in one of those, but I guess maybe they don't have good enough grid infrastructure. This is a much larger town. Quite a main street here. Very old buildings and all. Centenary Park. And here we have a charger. So I guess I will park in the Chattermo spot again. I made it. Oof. I've been driving for a while. The screen is dead, which is not a great sign. I'm not going to know when to tap the card, so I might use the app. Details, start. Yes, I think it's going to work perfectly fine with the app, and maybe even I could have just guessed when to tap the RFID card. But not ideal to have a broken screen. Oh, and it still says please wait on the app. This isn't great. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're charging. But that's ramping up now, so the charger seems to be working perfectly fine despite the broken screen. And I'll see you in a bit. It's not too long later. I'm only up to 61%, but the next charging stop will be Townsville, which is only about 128 kilometres away. And they have not just the Queensland EV network chargers, they have Evie and BP Pulse and other chargers with better speeds than this. My car doesn't get massively better speeds than this, but it will have noticeably better speed than this. So seeing as I now have enough charge to make it to Townsville, it doesn't make much sense to stay here charging at 49 kilowatts when I could drive over to Townsville and get about 70-ish. So that's the plan now. I will unplug. First I will plug the Starlink back in because I unplugged it last night and the phone reception's still pretty patchy. So just to try and stream stuff or get accurate Google Maps or anything, I'd rather have the Starlink on. But then I will unplug and head off to Townsville. I probably have to stop it from the app. I could try and work it out without the screen. I think you just go press bottom right button, scan card, bottom right button again, and it stops. But rather than bothering, it's probably easier to just pull up the app and hit stop charging. Welcome to Townsville. I guess this is the industrial part of Townsville. On the outer edge. I'm 5 minutes from the charger I'm going to. There's several chargers here, but I'm going to the Evie one. So EVIE spelling, not just an EV charger. But Yes, I usually quite like using EV chargers. Unfortunately, these are the older models, so they don't have the feature auto charge where you just plug in and it automatically recognises your car and charges it to your account, so you don't need a card or app or anything. But they do have full speed, and I can use my RFID card, so they're pretty good. The other option for full speed here was BP Pulse, which had 3 150 kilowatt chargers, so for my car that's really very good as well, but I went with the EV one instead. And I probably overcharged a bit at the last stop, considering there should be faster speeds here. I've still got 97 kilometres of estimated range remaining, still on 31%, so it's fine, I guess. But I could have gotten away with a bit less charging at the previous stop and then just added more power here with the faster speeds. But it doesn't really matter that much. Probably hasn't made that much of a difference. 380 to Cairns. So that is something I've been considering. Do I go to Cairns or not? If I do go to Cairns, I'm probably just turning around and going back. But at 380, I could almost plausibly make it there today and spend the night in Cairns. But it does make it like a 600 kilometre round trip to then end up back in Townsville, to then go home from Townsville. And I'm already sort of running a bit behind, so I'm not sure if I'm going to skip Cairns or not. But I probably have to make up my mind about that while I'm at the charger here. It's really not very many kilometres up to Cairns, is it? When I'm so close, I should probably go. Looks like it is at a Caltex. So not exactly a lovely location, but I guess it has the convenience factor on its side. And here we are. I don't know why they say RACQ on them, because they're also EV. EV normally isn't associated with anything else, but anyway. Finally using my EV RFID card for an actual EV station. Because I've added this to my ChargeFox account, so I can use it for ChargeFox charges as well. But this is what it's meant for. But it looks like we're connected, we've got the voltage and everything. And state of charge. It's not giving power yet. There we go, here's the power. 40. And we've surpassed the Queensland EV network. Don't know if you can see the screen all that well, but we're up to 73 kilowatts. So really very good here. 72 kilowatts coming into the car. Turn this off again. It's that radio is always silent, and then I turn the cameras on and it makes noise, so then I turn it off, and then it's off for like half a day because I forget about it. It really hasn't been useful anyway. Yeah, sitting on 72 kilowatts, so getting better speeds than the Queensland EV network, and that would be the first time we've hit full speeds since Three Ways Roadhouse back in the Northern Territory. So very good there. And I'll have a look at the map and stuff and see if I end up going to Cairns.
That's really not great. Might have to cut it off so it stops dragging on the ground.
Charging speeds have ramped right down now to 26 kilowatts, but it has been going along very well. It's just what the car is asking for now at 78%. So that's really all quite good. And I've decided I am going to continue all the way to Cairns and spend a night in Cairns. It is 4 hours drive away and it's 1:09 p.m. and I'll need another charging stop, so I want to get a move on. So I probably won't do much other sightseeing today, But I am going to recover all my tracks back to Townsville tomorrow, so I'll have a bit more time then where I can stop and see anything that might be worth seeing. So this afternoon is really going to be about covering distance. I unfortunately also pulled this off the bottom of the car because it was dragging on the road, so the situation seems to be getting worse. But I hope that stuff's not too important and we can continue. I'd also like to pump up the tyres. There's an air thing just right over there, but there's someone at it right now, but they might be leaving and moving on. And the charger I am going to is only not that far away really. 2 hours, 177 k's. So I'll charge there. Didn't have enough to make it to Cairns. I've already booked a powered site in Cairns. Oh, and the air's available. Perfect. My forward collision warning assist or something has been disabled because the radar is blocked. I'm hoping that's not any actual problem. I'm hoping that's just because it's raining so much. And that warning's gone away. So yes, it just got overwhelmed with how much water was in the way. Floodwater here. Oh my god, how much floodwater is there? Side of the road completely, but I guess I'll just follow the Subaru. Cairns. If this rain continues, I feel like the flood water on the road could get worse and I might not be able to drive through back home tomorrow. Hughenden to Cardwell is closed, according to that sign. And I think that sign is accurate based on this. Road is closed up ahead, so I literally can't get to Cairns, apparently. So I guess that's the decision made for me. Just means I've wasted pretty much the afternoon attempting to drive to Cairns. Yeah, some of what I drove through to get here was looking pretty sketchy, so it's probably makes sense. I'm going to get home not home, but back to Townsville before they close any of those roads. Oh wait, my SD card in the camera's also full. I normally sort all the footage while I'm sort of cooking dinner and setting up camp for the night, but obviously last night was a bit different. Be back in Townsville by 4:19. Police are here now. Yeah, this is not going anywhere. Like, I was already on the sort of the fence about going to Cairns because I'm not going to even spend much time there anyway. It's an extra drive out of my way. Maybe I should just come back a different time for it because I want to get home. But I thought it's so close, I'll just quickly drive up there tonight, spend the night there, maybe sightsee a little bit in the morning and come back home. But instead I've wasted an afternoon driving through torrential rain and flooding and potentially going to get trapped here. So I did actually make it back to Townsville quite easily, really. There was the same sort of flood water I drove up through, just driving back down through that, but that was fine. And there was none of the torrential rain that I had on the way up, so it was actually a better trip back down. And I've got 59 kilometres of estimated range remaining with only 5.2 to the charger. Unfortunately, it means I've basically lost an entire charge as well as a drive, so I'm going to have to go back to the same charger I was using at like 1 p.m. today and charge there again to then make it down beyond Townsville. But it is what it is. And once I get plugged into the charger, I might try and see if I can get a refund or something on the powered site I booked in Cairns. Might not be likely, seeing as it's last minute. It's usually like a week from the day or something you can't cancel it. So I might just lose the $45, but there was really no way I could get there. So that's that. But I am now pulling up at the charger once again, the same charger as last time. It's definitely rained here more. There's way more water on the ground of the car park, in the car park. And I'll plug in again. There we go. Now we're charging. Plugged in at 15%. I'll take a bit of time and see where we go from here. The situation is, I am in Townsville. I've charged up to 74%. Got 243 kilometres of estimated range here. Now, the next charger, heading back towards home, is only 86 kilometres away. So that's perfectly fine. But that's a Queensland charging network charger, so perfectly fine. I've been using them this morning and yesterday, but it's only 50 kilowatts, so not the fastest speeds. And now that I'm back on the East Coast, I have options. So, option after that would be to go down to Bowen, where there is... Nope, sorry, not that one. That's a similar one. There is a Tesla supercharger station open to non-Teslas. So that means I could get full speeds there, and they're very reliable and everything. So the most time efficient option would be to get down there, which is 201 kilometers away. The charging speed I'm getting has just plummeted now at 70 something percent, and it's down to 37 kilowatts. So I'd be better off unplugging and going to the Queensland one that's 80 something kilometres away, where I could get 50 kilowatts. But I do have an estimated 248 kilometres of range now. So if I'm fairly efficient, I could comfortably make it to that Tesla supercharger station. And the fact is, I might not even make it there today, because it's 2 hours 17 minutes away. It's 5 p.m. now already. I'll see how I go, but I might end up spending the night somewhere else. In which case, I would have a 15 amp plug at a caravan park, and I'd top up even more. But I think I'm going to unplug now, and I'll assess the situation when I'm going through the town with the Queensland 50 kilowatt charger in it. And if I think I'm going to need a bit of a top up, I can always stop there and top up. Doesn't make sense to stay here charging at 38 kilowatts when I have options now. So I will unplug. I will drive into proper Townsville a bit to have a look there, but then I would like to keep moving to keep getting away from the rain. That's a point. I forgot. I had a list of things I was going to do while I was charging, and I forgot to do one of them, which was to have a look at the radar. Oh yeah, there's rain coming in. That town, I don't know how you pronounce that at all, but AYR, that's where the 50 kilowatt Queensland network charger is, and that is right about to get dumped on with heavy rain. But I think it'll have passed by the time I get there. Oh, there's a Tesla pulling in. Very much back in civilization. Anyway, I will unplug from here. We're down to 26 kilowatts. perfectly honest, I didn't realise Townsville was such a city. But it seems pretty big. And I've actually seen multiple EVs just driving around, which I probably haven't seen since I left Melbourne. I've spotted a few, but as far as actually just seeing multiple in one short drive. Case in point. It is once again starting to rain fairly badly, but I've actually changed the navigation to go to I only looked at it very briefly. It's a hotel, I think, that has caravan sites out the back. I think I'll double check when I get there before I go in, but I think that's where I'm navigating to, so I should get a powered site there. It is raining, so not ideal for camping, but all my power banks and everything have gone flat. I kind of need power at the car because the 12 volt output in the car just isn't really enough to get everything charged back up again. And I kind of sleep better in the car, to be honest. My mattress is more comfortable than motel beds. And I'm hoping to do quite a good day tomorrow. There should be better charging options tomorrow, going down the East Coast, commercial chargers, multiple ones to choose from and everything. So it should be pretty good. And I reckon I could be in Brisbane in about 2 days if I don't have any issues and don't do too many sightseeing stops. Which with this weather, I'm not really doing many stops. If it clears up over the next 2 days, I might stop a bit more, but we'll see. And the rain has kind of cleared up. Everything's obviously still very wet, but for it to not be actively falling out of the sky while I get set up will be very nice. This might be the place. No powered sites available, which is quite a shame really, considering how flat everything is, but I do have plenty of charge in the car, so it's really not an absolute necessity. I'll keep the car running. Oh my god! That just falls off a cliff! Anyway, I'll keep the car running all night and the 12 volt power output will have to do. And especially with the air conditioner going and everything, I might lose a bit of range, but I am sort of, I think only like 10 minutes out from the Queensland EV network 50 kilowatt charger. So I'll probably top up a little bit there in the morning to make it to the Tesla charger. It's pretty full, but I guess I'll go somewhere here. I'm scared the grass is going to be really sloppy and slippery. but I can't exactly park on the concrete for the night. This might have to do. I'm all parked up in the campground, and the car has 50-something% state of charge. It's perfectly fine to run its air conditioner overnight. Powering everything else is the problem. I've got my main power bank plugged into the cigarette lighter output of the car. I'm getting 74-ish watts from that. The fridge draws about 50. So I've got the fridge running off the main power bank and the main power bank plugged into the car. The main power bank's on 1%. So there's not really any spare power other than powering the fridge. I might plug my phone into the main power bank as well. Hopefully the spare 20-ish watts plus a tiny little bit of buffer that the power bank might have in it could do that. Apart from that, I've got the camera batteries and stuff plugged into USB ports in the car, so they're fine. But yeah, I can't use the Starlink, but I've got perfectly good 4G here anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And all that's quite alright. It means I'll go through all day tomorrow with very flat power banks, both of them, which is a bit annoying. I might struggle to even run the Starlink, but I'll see what I can do in the morning. I'll have the help of the solar panel in the morning, so I might run the fridge directly off the car's 12 volt and try and put all the charge from the power bank all the charge from the solar panel into the power bank, and that might be enough to run the Starlink. And the main issue though that I hadn't considered was cooking anything. I have an electric stove, not even induction, it's like that old-fashioned style, so it uses a fair bit of power. If you're at a powered site, that's fine. And even the one time I did that sort of off-grid campsite, it was fine because my biggest power bank was fully charged at that point, so I used the biggest power bank to fully recharge my main power bank and to power the stove, so that was all fine. But there's no way the car's cigarette lighter is going to put enough power into the power bank quickly enough that I'll ever be able to run the stove off it tonight. So I can't really cook anything, and there's no camp kitchen. Unlike a lot of places I've had, this seems fairly small, and most of them seem fairly permanent. I think I'm one of the very few non-powered sites. But anyway, over there is the campground. That's a pub. I actually checked, they don't serve dinner on Tuesdays. So I was going to relent and just spend money on dinner. But across here is a public park, and they have one of these barbecues. So I thought, well, that could work perfectly fine. Just hold this button until it turns on. Only problem is, I did this before. The button's meant to show red until it heats up, then it'll go green. It never goes green, and this stays stone cold. So despite appearing to work just fine, it doesn't actually work at all. I'll see if it heats up this time, but I've tried it multiple times, waited quite a long time. It doesn't seem to work.